What's up, guys? This is going to be the first video in a series, and we're going to be comparing three things, mainly the Texas Weapon Systems Dog Leg dust cover. Mainly doing this one because this one is new to me, and picked a good rifle to put it on because this rifle already has at least 10,000 rounds on it. Usually run an optic up here on the Ultimac. Been a good proven system, so I know what this rifle's capable of. But I'd have to say, out of all these rifles we're going to be showing, this setup has probably the most controversy as far as yes, it's good and it holds zero, or no, it doesn't. So, yep, we're going to dive into that in a little bit, but the other two we're going up against. First one is going to be the JMac Customs. So far, I really like this one. I have probably the least amount of rounds on this one versus the other. I do really like the way it's set up. The one drawback to it is you have to have their MMS handguard in order to mount it. But other than that, so far it's been pretty solid, and I really do, again, like the way it locks up. The third is going to be the SureShot Mark. This is going to be the 2.1 Slim. But this video, we probably won't be shooting this rifle, and I'll get into that later. But it's also a really solid system for mounting an optic back here, rear of the rear sight tower. All right, so the biggest reason why we're mainly going to be shooting these two AKs here is because the hinge dust covers on these hinge up and hinge back down, which is, I can understand is an area of concern, whether that will return to zero or not. But I'm going to pick up another SureShot rifle here and show you guys why we're not going to be shooting that one in today's test. So this is also a 545 Saiga. This is the Slim 2.1. As you can see from both sides, the rail that goes over the dust cover, this is actually separate. I'm maintaining my original dust cover, but so this is a solid mount, so I can take my dust cover off and then get back in there, do maintenance, cleaning, whatever I need to do without having to worry like you would on the other two about possibly losing zero. Now, if you have the 3.0 chassis like this has, this is a 556 crank, so even though you can remove this, as you can see, the part that keeps a hold of the optic stays on the gun. So again, I do not have to worry about possibly losing my zero. The only thing is this one is rather tight. There we go. So yeah, it doesn't really make any sense to compare these two SureShot chassis with the hinging test that we're going to be doing today. Okay, before we go any further, I feel like it is important for me to mention, so before I got into YouTube, both the JMac and the SureShot chassis both were sent to me for testing. Testing purposes. I post a lot of this stuff on Instagram, a little bit longer reels and stuff, so if you're curious to see like what the preliminary results were, you can go look on there and find them. But yeah, these both were given to me. I have no money in them. I was not paid, other than, basically it was like, hey, if this doesn't work out, it didn't cost you anything. So it didn't cost me any money, but at the same time, they both did work out, so I got free chassis out of them, which is nice. So the only one that I don't have any ties like that to is the Texas Weapon Systems. I actually won this at Kalashnikon this year, and another full disclosure, I have owned one of these before, but I will say they've definitely made some changes since the last one I've owned. So far, the changes seem to be positive, and I might touch on that later. But yeah, I just feel like it's important for me to mention that. That way somebody doesn't try and point that out later. But yes, those two were free. Okay, so both rifles are proved to not be zeroed enough to hit about a 6-inch circle from only 50 yards. So now that that's corrected, I'm going to put some rounds through the Saiga. All right, so this target here, as you can see, I was trying to get things zeroed. So this is the 5.56 gun with the Texas Weapon Systems, so we are a little low and to the left. The 5.45 is pretty close to on. I would move that a little bit to the right, but for the sake of the test, we're not going to do anything. We're going to paste these up, and I'm going to hinge both dust covers, lock them back down, and we're going to fire a couple more groups to see if it moves. Okay, before we do it, naturally, we're going to make sure that we are empty and on safe. And just so there's no secret squirrel action going around on you guys, I'm going to hinge that up on camera. So TWS does recommend that after you hinge this back down, that you cycle it hard at least twice. We're going to do 3 for good measure. And all right. All right, same as with the Texas Weapon Systems. We're empty. Hinge it up. Now, I am not going to rack this because with the JMac, there's nothing that says that you should do it. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do like any of you guys would. And we're going to put 3 more rounds downrange. All right, so these 3 shots, as you can remember, were my original shots with the 5.56. Now I've got 1, 2, 3 more. That may be a possible shift. Who knows? This could have been a flyer, so I'm not going to jump to any conclusions yet, but it doesn't look like any major shifts going on so far. So 5.45, I had 2 here and 1 here. Now I'm over here to the right just a little bit. Again, I don't know if it's just going to be shooting a large group with that ammo. I don't know. So we're just going to paste these up again, keep going, see what we get. All right, same as before. Empty. Dust cover up, back down. 3 racks instead of 2. All right, so here we go again. A continuing pattern here. It's looking like this is probably just a little bit of a flyer, whereas I mentioned before when I was shooting, some of the grass through here is kind of tall, so I could have been hitting a blade of grass, but similar thing we've got going here with the 5.45. Like, it seems to be staying fairly consistent so far. So again, paste them up, shoot some more. Okay, up, down, closed. If I can get that mag in there, there we go. I can see those hits from here. Up, down, mag in. All right, so still continuing trend. I obviously knocked off one of the pasties here, but we've got a pretty nice, actually, 3-round group for shooting 62 grain SS109. Still 2 here, 1 slightly out, but that's still not bad. It's still holding the trend of being basically right here around the bullseye. So again, paste up, go back. I do think I've only got enough rounds for 1 more. It might be even a 4-shot group with 5.56, so we'll see. Okay, 1 more. So I have 4 rounds left, so this group's going to be 4 rounds instead of 3. So I actually have 5 rounds left for the 5.45, so we're just going to go ahead and shoot all 5. All right, so again, 3 rounds. I obviously did something here, or I hit a blade of grass like I mentioned before, but we still, as you can see where all the pasties are, this was from when I was trying to get the thing on the sticker. So this is a bad flyer, probably me. So all of these rounds stayed in this area here. 5.45, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, stayed in this general area. So it's from this test, I'm going to say both of them do really well at maintaining 0 if you hinge the cover up and down. All right, so far I will say both of these are doing really well. Again, I know that the SureShot would do well because we don't have to do that. We don't have to worry about losing any 0 by taking anything off, because you're not intended to mount anything on the part of the dust cover that comes off anyway, or at least nothing that needs to maintain a 0. So we'll continue with these tests. Next time, most likely, we will be having the SureShot along with these guys, and we'll really get to see these things go head to head. If there's any specific tests you guys would like to see me do, just mention them in the comments or hit me up in the DMs, and I'll see you in the next video.